A lucky coin gets stuck, and what happens next changes everything for Kitty and her family. Stay right here because you are not going to want to miss this. Welcome to the world of Kitty! If you're new here, hit subscribe so you never miss a single adventure. Okay, so picture this. Who even carries coins around anymore? Kitty does. And today, that one little coin is about to cause the most chaotic, most beautiful, most unexpected day her family has ever had. You ready? Let's go. Kitty's uncle grins at her. You've got a great kid there. Kitty rolls her eyes. Of course he'd say that. Her little sister Pip tugs on Kitty's sleeve. Do you have a coin? Kitty reaches into her pocket. She always has a coin. Always. That's just who she is. She drops it in the slot, and nothing happens. She wiggles it. She pushes it harder. Nothing. It's stuck, Pip whispers. It's stuck, Kitty confirms, pressing her face to the machine. Their mom walks over, takes one look, and tries to wiggle the coin out herself. No luck. Sorry, girls, she says. Pip crosses her arms. Kitty narrows her eyes. Mom shakes her head. Then someone remembers. They have a wedding to get to, right now. Come on. They just left a coin stuck in a toy ride, and now they're running late to a wedding. How is this family going to pull it off? Keep watching. One day, Kitty's class was making little animals out of modeling clay. The terrier twins, Max and Rex, were making sharks, obviously. Kitty's best friend, Ollie, was making a booger. Gross. Well, actually, Ollie said it was a snail, but everyone agreed it looked like a booger. And Kitty, the hero of this story, was making a horse. She worked at it with so much focus and so much care. First, the body, then the legs, then the tail, and finally, the head. She stepped back and looked at it. She was really pleased. Hey, Ollie! Ollie's eyes went wide. Oh, wow! Kitty blinked. It looked like a cow. Her horse looked exactly like a cow. Nice cow, said Rex, walking past. Ah, Kitty snapped. Moo, said Max. Max held his hands up. Kitty was upset. Really upset. Miss Coco crouched down. Oh, goodness. Because my horse looks like a cow. And here's where the story could have gone one of two ways. Rather than keep trying, Kitty put her clay down and never made another animal again. She told herself she wasn't very good, and so she stopped. The end. Pip looked up from the couch. Kitty nodded slowly. Yeah, Pip said, jumping up. Kitty grinned. Okay, let's try again. Before we go any further, here's a question for the comments. Have you ever given up on something because you thought you weren't good at it? Tell us down below, because what's about to happen to Kitty might change your mind. Once upon a time, there was a kid called Kitty who thought she wasn't very good at anything. But then, Ollie walked in. Now, Ollie could be a bit of a handful sometimes, a pickle, a rascal. But underneath all that, Ollie had a heart made of pure gold. And today, those big muscles were also very useful. You are good at things, Kitty, Ollie said firmly. I'm not. Look at my horse. Moo, said Ollie automatically. Okay, but I still say you're good at things. Cow horse, Kitty said miserably. Right, cow horse. Was Kitty going to believe Ollie? Was she going to give it another shot? Yes, she was. Because sometimes all you need is one person who believes in you. They started by looking at the color. Was that the problem? I don't think so, said Ollie. They stared at Cow Horse for a long moment. I know, said Kitty. Now that's a plan, said Ollie. They thought about where they could find a horse picture. Books, stories, songs. Old MacDonald has a farm, Ollie offered. They went through it carefully. Chicken, duck, pig, cow. Yes, definitely a cow on that farm. But a horse? No horse, Kitty said, frowning. That's very strange, Ollie agreed. Ollie, what if I just say it's a cow? Ollie looked her dead in the eyes. Kitty? It is a horse. It will be a horse. No, said Ollie with a grin. By the way, Ollie could also, in this story, transform into a racing car whenever needed. That's just how this story works. Hold up, cow horse, Ollie said. Kitty held it up next to Captain. And suddenly, it was obvious, crystal clear. The neck, they both said at the same time. It's too short, Kitty breathed. Captain tossed his mane, as if to say, finally, someone notices. We sure do, he seemed to say. Now they were ready. Can you see where this is going? Because here's where it gets really interesting. Keep watching, because this next part is everything. Rolling clay is a lot easier when you're very, very muscly, Ollie pointed out. Kitty started carefully reshaping the neck. Longer, more elegant, more horse-like. She stepped back. Okay. Nice giraffe, said Rex. Kitty stared at what she'd made. The neck was now way too long. It was absolutely a giraffe. Oh no, Ollie said quietly. I'm not very good, Kitty whispered, and her eyes started to fill up. And right here, right at this exact moment, everything depended on what story Kitty was going to tell herself. Was she going to be the version of Kitty who gives up? Or was she going to be the version of Kitty who keeps going? She wiped her eyes. She looked at the clay. Looked at Ollie. Okay, she said. Okay. We just made the neck too long. That's all, Ollie agreed. So they worked at it some more. They took a little away here. They smoothed it out there. Longer than a cow. Shorter than a giraffe. Just right. Kitty stepped back. It was a horse. An actual, real, unmistakable horse. I knew it, said Ollie. I can't believe it, said Kitty. I told you, said Ollie. Kitty looked at her horse for a long, long moment. I think I'm good too, she said quietly. Kitty thought about the big old horse who lived next door, the one who'd helped without even trying. Captain, she said, and they both smiled at Liddy Clay Captain. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. Much better, she announces. Kitty laughs. Their dad appears in the doorway. Good. Okay, says Kitty. Be patient, though. Their cousin Coco arrives. She hasn't slept all night, she says, flopping dramatically onto the sofa. It sure is, Kitty agrees. Pip announces. Everyone freezes. Say that again, says Dad. He's already putting his shoes on before she finishes the sentence. Kitty's little cousin Rodri is building something in the garden. Kitty asks. A house, he says proudly. Nearby, Max and Rex have built a fort and declared themselves Romans. This is very on brand for them. You are here to protect the kingdom, says Miss Coco from the doorway. Sir, they shout, standing very straight. Pip is playing hospital, and things have just gotten very exciting. I'm a bit worried, she whispers. Everything is going to be fine, Kitty says, in her best calm voice, appearing with a damp cloth. Here it comes. Pop. Someone yells. No, it's a girl! Everyone huddles around the tiniest, most important patient in the room. I'm calling her Polly, Pip announces. Great name, Kitty says. Wait, Pip says, very seriously. Because Polly is an early baby, she needs to stay in the hospital for a very long time. Got it, says Kitty. Now, says Pip, we need somewhere to keep her. Kitty looks around the room. Perfect! Kitty washes her hands. Again. then very gently places little Polly in her new home. She likes looking at things, Pip notes. It is a very busy hospital. "Hey, Ollie!" Pip calls. Ollie blinks. "Oh, okay." "Give Polly some sunny time," Pip reminds him. "Right, sunny time," Max demands. "I think so," Ollie says, uncertainly, glancing at baby Polly. "Baby loves his walkies," Pip announces, right on cue. Chaos. A dummy flies through the air. Someone trips over a blanket. The Romans are running in the wrong direction. Dad comes back from the chip shop with chips for everyone, having completely missed every single thing that just happened. She has found an old tin box, and inside it, an old toy typewriter. Not a real one, but almost. "I can't be a proper story writer without a proper typewriter," she murmurs. She heads inside to find their babysitter, Luna. Luna sighs. Kitty blinks. "But you're a sausage dog." Luna considers this. "Come with me," Kitty says. Luna brightens. They run into Ollie on the way. "Are you any bored?" Kitty asks. This is, without question, the most important moment of the afternoon, and the answer to why everyone keeps running away from Ollie, plus whether Kitty ever gets her proper typewriter, is closer than you think. Kitty announces. She is, in this part of the story, a helicopter pilot. "Chip, chip, 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 chip," says Luna, who is the co-pilot. Ollie looks out the window. "I'm a bit bored." "You cannot hop out of a helicopter in the middle of the sky," Kitty says. "Oh, right." The helicopter swerves a little. "We fly over my dad's house," Ollie says. "He has a pool." "I don't know exactly. He doesn't live with my mom." "Dropping you on 3. "Uncle Raj," Kitty says, "where did all our buddies go?" Uncle Raj chuckles. "Oh, they didn't run away." He finds 2 little paper boats. He sets them in a puddle of water and holds his hand behind them, holding the water back. There once were 2 little friends, floating around, nice and calm. He holds the water back. They turned 7, then 8, then 9, then 10, then 11, Kitty says. 12, says Uncle Raj. The water rushes forward. The boats spin and dip and nearly capsize. And then they find their way, floating forward together. Luna asks, watching closely. "I don't know," says Uncle Raj. Kitty shouts. Uncle Raj smiles. "Just be patient. Your friends haven't forgotten you. They're just on a big adventure." And all the way across the garden, every part of this wild, beautiful, chaotic afternoon came together. The horse that looked like a cow, the coin that got stuck, little Polly in her tank, the Romans protecting the kingdom, the helicopter over the pool. All of it. Just kids figuring it out. Taking the long neck, the wrong turn, the giraffe instead of the horse, and working at it until it was right. Until it was exactly what it was always supposed to be. And they all lived happily ever after. That's it for today's episode of The World of Kitty. If you're still here, you're officially one of us. And don't forget, tell us in the comments, have you ever almost given up on something, but kept going anyway? We want to read every single one. See you in the next adventure.